My father made me sleep standing up, leaning against a wooden pole bolted to my bedroom wall, for over a year, because he said sitting was a privilege women hadn't earned. I was 13 when he gathered me and my two sisters in the living room and announced our new household rule. Females in this house are forbidden from sitting or lying down. Standing is the natural position of service. You will stand at all times, including when you sleep. My sister Opal laughed, thinking it was a joke. He backhanded her across the face. Does that feel like a joke? This wasn't out of nowhere. Dad had always treated us like we were less than human. Made our mom eat standing at the kitchen counter while he sat at the table because women didn't deserve chairs. Never let us go to school because education made females forget their purpose. Mom never defended us. She had been broken long before any of us were born. But this was a new level of evil. He dragged every chair out of our bedrooms, ripped out our beds, replaced them with wooden poles bolted into the wall, said we'd sleep leaning against them like horses. Horses don't need to lie down, so neither do you. The first night was torture. My legs shook for hours. Every time I started to drift off, my knees would buckle and I'd jerk back awake. By morning, my ankles were swollen and throbbing. He inspected us at breakfast. Good, he said. You're learning. The rules got worse every week. We couldn't even lean against walls because that counted as partial sitting. He installed cameras to catch us cheating. If our knees bent too much, he made us stand on one leg for hours. Pain builds character, he'd say. Your future husbands will thank me. After 6 months, my body started breaking down. My feet swelled so badly I couldn't fit into shoes. My legs turned purple from the knees down. My younger sister Pearl developed blood clots. Dad told the emergency room doctor she was just being dramatic, that women have stood for centuries. They sent us home before anyone could ask real questions. At night, I'd hear my sisters crying against their poles. Opal's ankles swelled to twice their size. Pearl could barely walk. I started losing feeling in my own feet completely. Mom finally begged him to let us rest one single night. They're children, she said. Look at their legs. He grabbed her by the hair. Are you questioning me? Maybe you need to start standing too. After that, Mom slept against a pole right alongside us. A year into this nightmare, Dad's sister Cordelia announced her wedding. We had to attend. In the car, he gave us instructions. No sitting during the ceremony, no sitting at the reception. If anyone asks, say you prefer to stand. We made it through the ceremony pressed against the back wall. During cocktail hour, we stood while everyone else sat at tables. Cordelia kept glancing over with concern. She walked up and asked why we wouldn't just sit. There were plenty of chairs. We prefer standing, I said, exactly like he taught us. She looked at our father. He just smiled and shrugged, said we were very active, couldn't keep us still. Then during the reception, Pearl's legs finally gave out. She collapsed and cracked her head on the marble floor. Cordelia rushed over and knelt down, and when she did, Pearl's dress rode up past her knees. Cordelia screamed so loud the entire band stopped playing. Pearl's legs were purple and black from the knee down, open sores where the skin had split from the swelling. Her feet looked like they were about to burst. What happened to her? Cordelia screamed. Dad pushed through the crowd and said she had a medical condition, that he'd handle it, but Cordelia was already pulling up Opal's dress to check her legs. Then mine. All 6 of our legs looked exactly the same, destroyed, dying. What did you do to these children? She screamed at him. This is none of your business, he said, grabbing for my arm. We're leaving. 3 of my uncles stepped in front of him. You're not taking them anywhere. He tried to push past them and they tackled him to the ground right there on the dance floor. Cordelia called 911 while cradling Pearl's head in her lap, sobbing and apologizing for not seeing it sooner. The paramedics said Pearl would have lost both legs within a month. Opal needed surgery to remove blood clots from her legs. I was left with permanent nerve damage. A detective questioned my father at the hospital. He actually tried to justify it, said standing built discipline, said he was preparing us to be proper wives. The detective just stared at him and said, you nearly killed your own daughters. He shrugged and said, they're just women. He got 15 years. My mother testified against him in exchange for supervised visitation, and to this day I still can't sit in a chair for too long without my legs starting to shake.